I'm not lying to any of you. I mean, he...
Every single clip, I don't unmute myself. What is wrong with me? I don't know what I'm doing. I need assistance. I need an adult. So, welcome back. It took me 3 minutes longer than I had expected because I didn't unmute myself. So I've been talking to myself. I'm looking at the screen. I should see the little bar going back and forth with the microphone. And I don't need your negativity, Ashira. And so, anyways, what happened in the last clip? I know for you viewers on Twitch, it is just what just happened like 5 minutes ago. But for those of you on YouTube who might not watch these videos in the same setting, the party had split up after fighting the fiend known as Farid. Ohtar got himself a new fancy sword, and the party went through, collected some weird items, including like a telescope and some sunglasses. Things you don't think of in I guess like medieval times. Not that this is medieval. D&D is kind of a weird in between. Sword and shield times, if you will. So, in the last episode of Crosses and Daggers review, Connor, Revelor, and Creorn went to the Temple of the Helm and spoke with the priest there, Cedric Mockin. The Helm is Connor's deity, and it is the Helm of human protection, or the human god of protection. And they basically got interviewed regarding some sensitive political views. Wanted to make sure, considering that Revelor and Creorn are elven and half-elven, that they were not on the side of those doing the. It wasn't on the side of the genocide. Things seem to be going well. Looks like Cedric is going to be trusting them, at least for now. We'll see what happens in the long run. And Ohtar and Dandy, they went to go see about a bounty. Long time ago, Ohtar got himself into some trouble, and a bounty was placed on his head. So Dandy is going to investigate to see how serious this bounty is, and see if they're at risk at staying in the city, or if they just need to flee really quickly. So, you'll learn more about that story of how he got the bounty in our origin story, and more about how this is going to unfold in this video. Don't forget, if you're here on Twitch, feel free to ask me any questions you want. I just got me and my frozen burrito, maybe a little bit of arts and crafts to pass the time, do something with my hands. So yeah, let's just go ahead and play the damn video.
Slayed this freaking demon, mighty god.
I'm going to back it up a second.
Behind his desk. Dandy and Ohtar.
Here we go.
I'm not lying to any of you. I mean, he slayed this freaking demon, wannabe god, and then took his sword as a consolation prize. Isn't that right, Ohtar?
Ohtar's gonna just like nod his head and hand. He's gonna take out the sword and hand it to Dandy.
No, what you...
Yeah. It's a two-handed sword.
My strength is 10.
Yeah. So back at the Iron Tulip, you were telling everyone the story, showing off with Ohtar. It didn't take long for people to start recognizing Ohtar. At this point, you guys. So the time that they arrived at the temple, you two arrived at the bar. You had your discussion with Quina, and told your story in the same 30 minutes they had this conversation.
Yep.
At this point, the table that... Are you sitting at the table or are you sitting at the bar, Ohtar? Or at a table?
I was just with Dandy, so we're. I think
You
we set
kind
up
of took
the
over
bar,
like
didn't we?
a small half stage.
Yeah, pretty much. Just, after I talked to the barkeep at the bar,
Mhm.
once I realized it's not as bad as I would have imagined, I basically just, we gathered a crowd. It's most likely to be like a semicircle of most people seeing at the bar, and I'm just speaking, well, not in the way of the bartender. So
Sure.
Like the
Yeah, it's the opposite side of the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So by this time, as your story's ended, people have put an accumulative 10 gold in your little tip bag. And Ohtar, you now have 2 additional ales brought to you, as well as about 6 shots of liquor that were not paid for by you, that were given to you as Ohtar, welcome back.
I will drink them all.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Constitution check for me.
I'm trying to get this cat off my lap. One. We won.
Dude, I keep losing
That's
my
a very
die.
interesting way of
There
saying
it is.
pussy.
When I got my cat, I was making that joke where it was just like, well, I'm gonna go meet this girl, and I'm gonna go get a cat from her. So either way, I'm getting some pussy.
18.
18?
Yes.
Nice. And I would like you to make a perception check, please.
Oh, perception is my favorite. I don't know which dice wants to screw today. Hey, it's this one. I do want a high perception. Not high though. 8.
Okay. I need that dice back. I keep using this dice as like a bookmark. It is a terrible bookmark. Okay. What you don't see is a single guard walk into the bar and head straight to the bar.
Yep.
Talking with Quina for a few minutes, and comes over with 2 ales, hands one to you, hands another Ohtar. Ohtar! Pats you on the back. Great to see you again. You now have 3 ales, Ohtar.
I had my the first ale because I actually haven't been drinking at the time of the story. Grab the first ale. Do I catch that this is a guard handing me an ale? Is he in guard uniform? Or...
He's wearing like guard uniform. He's not. He took his helmet off when he walked in.
Okay.
He's giving the appearance that he is appearance.
Appearance. Can I make an insight to see if this guy did anything to the drink?
Of course.
Last thing I want to be is roofie when I'm my first night back to this place.
Sure, that seems like the kind of thing Danny would be into.
Depends. Dirty 20.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with the drink.
Yeah, take a small gulp and then set it down though to.
Go ahead and make a constant. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so I won't drink too much because I'm gonna try and see if I can perform to get the place more lively because I can tell not only from inside, able to like through windows to the outside area. Do I tell this place is not dying down?
Yeah, everyone. It seems to be picking up for the dinner rush.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on see if there's any other bards or instrument users in the area.
Okay.
And if they want to, it's like a performance of a lifetime.
I can do my best.
Read music, right?
No.
Fuck. Follow along, try to have fun.
I can do that.
Get into it. Gonna go see if we can have some fun, play some music, go nuts.
Make a performance check.
So back to give me a C and stick with me.
Yeah, pretty much. Performance, that would be a 15.
Okay. What are you playing? Do you have anything in mind?
Yeah, I do.
Now I believe this clip is going to get edited out on our YouTube, just in case we get like copywritten. I don't know for sure that we will.
To the walls.
So this is going to be Twitch exclusive.
Your head bobbing, buddy.
So yeah, once everyone's getting together, we're having drinks, having a good time. It's not that good.
Yeah. Help yourself to one of the monsters in the fridge.
So once I get everyone together,
You didn't see that.
everyone in a circle, have a good time.
I didn't just almost hit myself in the face. Didn't happen. You have no proof.
Thank you for the ale, sir.
Yep. I'm just imagining the people in the background playing along to it. She's got a penis.
That's a deal breaker for most.
Unfortunately, to make the whole thing worse, the companion you chose to play with you rolled a 3. He is out of tone, out of tune, timing is wrong,
A penis.
and everyone is just laughing so hard.
All this was is just again.
As you're singing and
The
the
moment it became bad music, it became a gag.
Yeah.
So I'm just singing this.
Yeah. About 3/4 of the way through your song, 7 guards come walking into the door, one after one after one.
Are they taking off their helmets?
They are not taking off their helmets. And they are walking straight over to the other guard that's sitting near Ohtar. Right next to you. She has a penis.
No, yep. Alright. I'm just gonna continue with gag jokes, keep the people laughing while I'm keeping an eye on this, unless they direct the conversation towards me or Ozark.
So as they come walking through the bar, kind of shuffling through all the people, two of the guards, plus the one sitting right next to Ohtar, come over to Ohtar. The other four come up to you. Gentlemen, we'd like you to come with us, please.
You have a penis. As the final closing.
Is showing?
Hey guys, good night. I'm gonna pull my hat out and see if anyone puts any more coins as I'm figuring we're gonna have to go with these guys.
You get another 5 silver.
Done. Hop in my hand, put my hat on, it's like, I'm over to the car, I'm like, I'm way up there when I, like, what's the show? On a scale of 1 to 10, how in trouble are we?
Just want to have a word with you.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry, we're gonna talk to people.
Alright.
Huh?
You are
Normally in the bread bag.
I gotta.
Wait, did Ohtar just actually have a solid response to something?
What was that?
Hold on, I gotta find bread.
This bread right
Yeah.
I was looking for this.
Have you checked your wallet?
Ohtar just had a coherent response to something.
Oh.
Well, he's drunk, so he gets smarter.
I think we all know one person who appears to be smarter when they're
So,
intoxicated.
arm in arm, the guards escort you both outside of the tavern.
Like carrying us.
No.
Shoulder to shoulder.
You guys are being civil, they're being civil.
Cool.
They escort you guys outside of the bar and head down to where you know is they head down towards the pit.
I'm just during the entire time walking down with him, I'm like trying to get them to group as well, but I'm just still just she has a penis. I'm trying to make them sing along.
Did we rest yet?
No.
Henceforth, I am being a cooperative bitch.
How many hit points do you have?
Hit points, I'm full.
Oh, okay.
I did have the short break to heal.
Sure. Yeah.
Does my short break do not want to take a short rest? Nope. Yeah. We took a short rest. Oh, fight. Then I know my stuff. Yeah, I
did we?
No. We decided not to because I don't get my bardic inspiration back.
Okay.
You guys don't get stuff
I
back.
thought we didn't because I was like, I still don't have any spells.
I think I took a health potion is what it was.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I took one of the health potions.
I think we topped off with other stuff.
Okay. So, as the 7 guards are escorting you guys towards the pit, you go a little bit past the pit to the biggest building nearest. You imagine from their second story, they've got a perfect view right into the inside of the pit. And as you enter this home, you probably think to yourself, oh man, if I ever settle down, this is what it would look like.
Yeah, this would be a nice gift.
Super ostentatious. It's got rugs, animal heads on the wall, statues, beautiful paintings.
Yes,
And a few of the guards stay outside, and the other few bring you guys inside. You guys turn immediately to the left. There's a big office, there's artifacts and paintings, big red, blue rug underneath. Have you guys take a seat behind the desk, and you hear one of the guards from the first room into the house, not the office where you guys are standing. They're here, sir. Yeah. Perfect. And you hear a little bit of a pitter-patter coming down some steps. And the door opens, and you see one of the guards' arms open the door for him. And you're looking about at the height of the guard.
I would because being in the business, we probably would have scouted out knowing who the owner of the establishment is, and I think I would naturally would look down for the
Okay.
happens that run this place.
Sure. And sure enough, as the guard opens his door, below his arm, you find Niobe wearing a red robe, like a nightgown.
Yep.
And he walks in, being joyous and loud, big ear-to-ear grin. Gentlemen, I am so happy to see you.
I'm going to do a stand and a slight bow until he gets his seat afterwards. How's it going, good sir?
Fantastic. Ohtar, welcome back to Altanova. It's good to see you in good health. What's that?
Ohtar's just like, what's up?
Good to see you in good health. And who might you be?
My name. Well, I don't know if he paused and I was gonna say something but realized, nah, I'm gonna just frame someone else.
Hey, if you're going to, make it quick.
My name's Andy.
Andy, okay.
I am his new manager.
Oh, I see.
My man's here wanted to make money and wanted to make it fast. I was in the business of knowing how to multiply that money, so we decided to do a small tour around the area. We head up to Tariff, hit a little further south towards the Soldier area, put their place in check for a little sparring match. That was great. They called it training, I called it easy winnings. And so yeah, I'm here to make him money and make him famous.
I see. And I don't suppose that you started with my money.
Well,
About that.
Well, I did see his first fight here. There was a whole thing that went down. I don't know what's going on with that. The whole uproar and everything. And after that, we found ourselves on our way out together. I had to go get a new passport. People keep stealing, destroying things. It's a crazy place this place is.
Indeed it is.
But I had to get my passport. Apparently this big guy was heading in the same direction. We just happened to travel together. I talked about making him money and famous. He agreed, and ever since then we've been traveling together.
We've been best friends ever since.
You and I have a lot in common.
Oh, I really do hope so.
Well, if you don't already know, I am Niobe. I am the ringleader and owner of the world's greatest entertainment arena, The Pit. Now, Ohtar, we have missed watching you kick asses and take names. But unfortunately, I cannot allow you to come back until what has been stolen is returned to me.
May I ask what has been stolen? And I'll lean in, and I'll go in like, it's almost like the lawyer that I'll lean in and actually be like, what are you accusing my client of?
Yeah, Ohtar's confused, like, what does that have to do with me?
Yeah. The day that you left Ohtar, somebody took a chest right from the bidding booth. Now, I obviously live quite the ostentatious life, and I understand that the money is long enough. However,
Understood.
what I need
Understood.
is still out there somewhere.
Again, why am I the DM?
Inside the chest was
I
a
don't
golden
do words so well.
gem inlaid and customly engraved dagger. I will have it back, and we may all go about our business. So please, tell me, Ohtar, Andy, where is it?
I've never heard of a gem-encrusted dagger. A stolen chest. Feel bad for your establishment. Do you have any evidence, or not evidence, do you have any witnesses on who might have taken it?
No, unfortunately, we were all watching Ohtar stab.
Ashira, I appreciate that, but I'm happily married.
I
Thanks.
should have written that guy's name. I have it in my notebook somewhere. Watching him stab the other contestant. Knocked him in the grave.
Oh yeah, he was so great.
Yeah, well, you sound like a man.
Well, considering how the episode the word stab, I take it was supposed to be something with this fight.
As most of these are, yes.
Okay. And how did Ohtar get the sword in this arena in the first place?
The same way Nokrin ended up with a pair of brass knuckles.
Oh, so he just went off the wall just broke all the rules in one hand.
Someone or some people were dropping weapons into the pit.
Oh.
And
I'm gonna.
That's alright, I'll just log back into your computer and follow again.
A detective mode. I'm essentially gonna try and simulate that I am now trying to solve this case for him as well.
Okay.
I stand up and okay. So people were fixing the fight, and then afterwards, when was the last time people had eyes in the chest? I take it your guards were around the area, correct?
halfway through the fight.
Okay. And then around the fight time, when the weapons were thrown in. After the weapons were thrown in, what time did the guards leave? Was
After
it
all the
before or after?
commotion.
It was after.
It was reactive.
As reactive, the guards left. Maybe someone went in and took the chest. I assume the chest is fairly big sized.
It held a few thousand gold, yes.
Okay. So it's not something that only one person can carry by themselves. They would have to have someone else helping, especially if they want to get out quietly. When everyone was searched away, these people somehow snatched the chest when no one was watching, and was able to escort it past. You have guards outside of this facility?
Mm-hmm.
So did they also respond, or were they still outside?
Not all of them. Some of them were still outside.
And none of them saw anything. Interesting. Have you been able to question the guards if anyone had talked to them afterwards about turning a blind eye for a small coin?
I have interrogated all of my guards, yes. I do know that I'm looking for someone named Wanda.
Wanda. And who is this woman? I assume a woman.
Someone that paid for Ohtar's mission. I know that Ohtar lacks the mental prowess to scheme such a heist.
Yeah.
But you two must have an idea to where the culprit went.
Well, I don't know about an idea. Like I said, I just met him on the way out after seeing the fight erupts, and when then got crazy, I decided to step out for a drink.
And when did you see Ohtar leave?
Oh, I only saw him outside the gates. We left, he left, we met each other. Someone messed with my passport, so I couldn't get back into the city. Someone messed with his passport, something like that. Did you get your passport stolen as well, Ohtar? Or did you just simply forget it? The other one.
Got it. Out of character. I think I forgot it. I can't quite remember though.
Your passport was being held by someone else.
That's right. That's right.
You, not quite the most responsible person when it comes to parchment.
Yeah. So Ohtar is gonna answer, but I don't know.
Misplaced.
He's gonna be like, I think it's
So we couldn't immediately come back into the city. Otherwise, he probably would have cleared this up a lot sooner. Well, then again, I probably wouldn't be able to go on a journey and become an adventurer, but long story short, we were actually not in this area for a while now. And so, yeah. Ohtar, do you remember a Wanda?
Ohtar just finished spelling or sounding was spelling.
Yeah.
I just rolled an 18 plus 5 for intimidation. He's gonna stand up, slam his hand on the desk.
Aw, hearts.
And kind of loom over Nivy. And go, you dare accuse me of stealing from you?
I don't accuse you of anything.
We obviously agree that you
Hold on,
did
Andy.
not steal.
He's clearly talking to me. Ohtar, we both know that I've paid you a great deal of money, and I love to have you fight in my arena. I don't think that you stole anything from me, but I think this Wanda, who paid for your admission, has played you. I simply just want to find her. That's my point.
Yeah, we were hearing that. I was like,
This is changing the tone completely.
Didn't Ohtar have a dream about Wanda? Okay, so completely out of character, because obviously I'm not there.
Yep.
Isn't Wanda your mom?
Yeah.
So Ohtar had a very vivid dream about Wanda.
Very good.
My
based
phone's been in the bedroom this whole time.
Would
Like
you
I
care
just got
to,
Ryan's text message.
Miami, the last time you saw Wanda?
I'll tell you right now, we only hanged out like on the wingspan of a few hours to a day together. If Ohtar even remembers that.
Oh, Ohtar remembers Wanda.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about that
Oh,
we're an actual family.
yeah.
Ohtar's gonna sit back down.
Thank you.
He's not thrilled though.
So you're looking for this Wanda character. Features, race, what are we looking at here?
Just have her name.
Just a name. And she stole the chest, but you mainly want the dagger back.
Let me
Does
see.
anyone
You
It's,
said I would remember her.
Getting really warm in here. It's
And you
almost
had a dream
75
about
in my
her.
Enough to
office.
give a description of.
Can you guys
what she
hear
looks
the
like.
air conditioner? Is that too loud?
Okay, then I would probably give that.
Okay.
Based off of the last the last segment of conversation with Nivy.
Okay. So beautiful, voluptuous, blonde.
Okay. Wonder Woman hired him. Come to the fight specific. The chest is going. This dagger. Was there any other items besides gold in this chest?
There's probably some gems and whatever else was put in for bidding.
But the dagger was the most.
The dagger was what I set in there.
The most recognizable item.
It is the only thing I care about.
In my mind, if I would have done this, I probably would have sold items that I could be easily recognized with that dagger being as descriptive as it gave it. I wouldn't want to hold on to that. When we check the pawn shops and everything around the area.
I promise that is not an ultimatum.
Ooh. Well, some of your researchers will actually hear about that instantly. Is there any other underground traders, share with kind of your connections with your things?
What's up, people? How are you guys today?
Like that?
From what I know, yes.
You want to check there for the dagger rewards. In the meantime, you can keep an eye out for this Wanda. Give you a heads up if we have eyes on her. And if we're actually able to retrieve said dagger or person, is there a reward for whoever returns this item?
Roll an all around, just roll a deception check.
Is it lying? Because I haven't. That's fine. Come on. 19.
Okay. He rolled a 2. You hear him go from his very calm and collected, yet still loud voice to guards! Everyone leave the house.
Danny semi-naturally stands up to leave.
Starts walking out.
Oh, just the guards. Just the guards. Oh, sorry. Hold. Just the guards. We're good.
He's just like, couldn't I deal with smart people? Pushes his glasses back up after hearing the door latch close. I will pay greatly for this dagger. If this dagger is set in the wrong hands, I will be killed on sight.
Definitely concerned and puzzling look over Andy's face. Are we talking cursed item or family heirloom? I just want to know.
Roll
if
persuasion.
Persuasion. That's a little lower. 12.
Nibby ain't having
That
none
is
of
of
Dandy
none of
shit.
your concern.
Fair enough. I'm just going to have a hard time touching it. I'll use a claw.
It is safe to touch.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
I need this dagger. Without the wrong people getting their hands on it.
I'm going to hit me with like a magical blast. If I run to them and say, give me this dagger back, I'm going to be like, no, pop.
That depends. Does the person who has it has magic?
Not a clue.
Roll deception check.
Ohtar's going to ask if the dagger has a name.
16.
Natural 15.
Mm-hmm.
With +3.
Hmm.
He does not believe you. The dagger does not have a name. The dagger is not named. But the engraving is what will get me in trouble.
Is it easy to decipher in your name? We talking Dragonborn?
It is common.
Oh.
Wait, no, sorry. It is not common. It is Gnomish.
Gnomish, okay. Those I'm just wondering if the magic part, because apparently Ohtar got bewitched by her. So if she has magic, if she had partners, but she could take this crit out herself, it was 2 job at a minimum, then another person could have magic, or not her. And magic lasted that way. I take it you already have your men scoping all the webs, so to say they're not here anymore. Oh boy, that's why we search the rest of the town. Huh.
Just want to make sure you know exactly which one I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about.
The dagger or
The dagger.
No.
You gave it to your sister. When you guys
split the money.
split the money, the dagger was pulled out and you gave it to your sister.
Okay. Okay. But then they all abandoned, so.
Pretty sure you remember where they were going. Or Danny would at least remember.
Yeah, Danny would remember. But they said something about heading to the trading port or whatever.
Well, Altanova was the trading area.
Yeah. But we're in Altanova. For them to be here this whole time.
They were heading to Valencia. That's the big city in the tribe. If you actually look behind your left shoulder, you can see it. That would be your right shoulder. It's out in the middle of the desert. Not that far.
Alright, so, they're in the area, they have the stolen goods, they want to probably grab as soon as they can. Have you had your men searching the tariff area? Maybe some people fleeing closer to the war in Eperon? Might be able to lay low there.
I don't have many guards that work for just me.
Fair enough. If you send out investigators, maybe start that area. Check around, see if you have any news or updates on this dagger of yours. Me and the group, me and Ohtar, he won't be able to stay for fights, so we're going to be helping him with this search. We'll keep him down low, if you know knows about it.
Who else is in this group?
We have hired a bunch of mercenary folk. One has a bow, the other is actually quite handy with his weapon. It's like a spear, axe, mixture of them. I can't begin to understand it. And we had this other folk. As much as the people get a little shady around them, I don't consider myself as the people get a little on edge. I'm fine with it though. Everyone has their own stories. He's an elf, apparently. But, like one of those full elves. No really that much of a difference besides being shorter. Personality is just the same. Every human has their own right to be whatever they want to be, and, two kind of sides to the coin, see through the things. He seems like a great guy. Say he doesn't recounts on our journeys. So we kind of hired them as, like, bodyguards for our bodyguard, what those are. And so, yeah, if we get them to help along, I can probably convince them that more money is involved, but I will not tell them about the island. Simply that we are searching for this wand god. Okay. We'll see.
Why would Ohtar and his manager need mercenaries?
Yeah, we've been going through a lot. After having to get our... What do you know about vampires?
I've heard of children's tales.
Tales always come from somewhere. In this case, it came for our necks. So on our journey, prepare, spread the word to the higher ups and human guard. We've had a little run-in with a few undead vampire beasts. We got hired for a small little gig, is how we met the mercenaries, fighting some undead skeletons, which led us to some vampire naked. Too bad she was trying to kill us. And they slaughtered her. So when we found out they were capable and there were dangers on the road, we thought, you know what, we'll travel with them for a while and keep us safe. And we will travel some great distance, help another person get more money, help Ohtar get his riches. And we ran into another vampire, so they were getting less and less uncommon, which is more terrifying than I'd like to admit. We then met some other lady who warned us about possibly more undead vampires underground, lava cave, not too far from Terra. That scared the hell out of us. But we also had to search the caves for some rare fire flowers. We didn't really get much out of it. But then we ran into some more vampires. And, yeah. Chased that sucker down, tried to kill that one. Mercenaries did most of the work. I watched from a distance. Going down this crazy water slide to a lava pit where we fought this undead self-proclaimed devil god. Ohtar finished him off, got a sword out of it. Congrats, buddy. And followed into another underground building where we found two more vampires. So, and then we climbed to the surface and found our way back here. We haven't really used the passports that were given to us. So this has been a hell of a couple of months.
Weeks.
That.
Felt like months.
Sure as hell felt like months.
I was gonna say, we've only taken like 4 long rests.
Yeah.
So isn't that like 4 days that we've been
Well,
gone?
we're not including travel time to get to certain areas.
Yeah, you guys have been together for about 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very well. If you hear anything or find anything about my dagger or Wanda, you know where to find me.
Do you care more about the Wanda part or the dagger part?
The dagger.
Dagger part. If say we found a pawn shop with the dagger but no Wanda, do we still search for Wanda? This blonde human, whatever.
So Wanda is blonde.
Well, that's what he said.
Oh, he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Check it out, my new webcam cam.
So I'm trying to get it from you.
That was too many lawsuit videos.
Hopefully I'll get this hooked up and set up to maybe test out on stream tomorrow.
But the Wanda character is
Excited to see how it does.
Alright. Well, looks like we have another journey there, Ohtar. One of the vampires where this is going to take us next. seriously like invest in some like holy water or some shit. They are everywhere.
Garlic.
Does garlic really work? I'm just gonna have like a back and forth conversation with Ohtar now about these.
Guards!
Okay, that's us. Well, good sir. Until the next time we're free, we'll see you again. Otherwise,
Yeah, whatever. Put her pat her back up the steps.
Fair enough. It is late in the night. Ohtar! Back for drinks. Drink.
Okay, so you guys head back over to the Iron Tulip.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys continue to go back into drinking and telling stories.
Yeah, except my drinks are now starting to get hearty. I'm not doing stories. I'm not doing performances.
Okay.
I'm now drinking, going, fucking problems.
Okay.
Oh no, this is gonna be a great idea. It's gonna be one-time things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Back to the temple. The secret door opened behind behind Cedric's desk, or his bedroom, his office. As you guys walk in, there's weapons and armor hanging off of the walls. In the center of the room, there's a large desk with a map of Metallan across it. There's these small little toothpick flags hung up in random places. They all have the Eye of the Helm on them, and you recognize that there's a pin in Glish, there's a pin in Calpheon, there's a pin in Altanova, there's even a pin in Duvencrane. The pin in Grana was knocked over. The pin in Ardroxia has been knocked over. And a few other places scattered around the map.
I'll pay attention to locations, but those are probably like temples, and I'm trying to like memorize locations for later on when we travel.
Mm-hmm. And it appears that they're mostly either in or just outside of most of the major cities, especially in Iorn. There's one out in the middle of the desert, from what you can see, which is actually Valencia.
Okay.
But what was that?
I mean, my phone just vibrated, but
Oh.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
my phone's sitting on my desk, and maybe it could have vibrated loud enough my mic picked
Okay.
it up.
Off to one of the sides in the room. I should mention that both of these rooms, they've had like chandelier of candlelight. They're all adequately lit, despite not having any windows or anything like that. Off to one corner of the room, there is a desk with a small stack of parchment, and you guys see there's a bright purple conch shell. Lots of writing on it.
Does it look similar to a conch we've seen?
It looks identical to a conch you've seen.
I imagine that was the same.
He walks around the map, and he kind of walks around so that you guys will kind of circle around the map. And he goes, each of these flags represent one of our temples. Most of our information are given from either the temples in each location, or from city representatives that are willing to give out information, and then transcribed back and forth. There's been some advancements in the war. Decry has taken over Ilia Island. Iorn's made had a failed attempt just a few months ago of trying to invade Duvencrane.
they were stopped by some sort of creatures between the Tisha ruins and in the Crow's Post. But I keep track of all of this. That's not what I wanted. Tisha ruins are up here, and the Night Crow Post right here.
You posted the link of that interactive map, didn't you?
Yeah, somewhere I think.
Probably in the maps.
I was thinking maps or memes or something.
Yeah, I can. It might have been in general. I can share it to you guys again at some point. So he points out. He goes, I mostly keep track of all of this so that we can send some priests to help with what we can, mostly healing and just spreading the word of the helm. However, we've been getting a lot of action from Adroxia. Hey. Okay. I mean, sure. It's over by the smoke detectors. Should be the only one. That's it.
It's a 9-volt lithium. There's like special ones in like for just pointing out things on the map right now, but we haven't gotten a conclusion from it.
It's okay. I think there's like a missing.
No, we got interrupted right before like anything. Just like, there's a map. Okay, there's temples on there.
We also. Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
You were pointing out things on the map. Night Crow Post.
Oh, right. Advancements in the war.
Yeah.
Iorn trying to invade further into Ephron, Decry invading a specific island. Trying to keep track of all of this, but also try to keep track of any movement on any of the original Titans from the war. Only a few of their bodies were ever found afterwards, and many of them are still out there. It's been relatively quiet.
Titans?
Dragons, treants, constructs, the
Things that attacked each.
Right, yeah, there was the rumors about dragons and such. You were talking about attacking Elf City.
It's the same thing of your dreams.
Draxia got leveled by dragons and things.
Your dreams are of the day the war started.
Right.
And it's all of the cities being just demoed, essentially.
Dragons and constructs.
Okay.
Yep. The closest thing that I've found to anything revolving the Titans is, and he points to the table with all of the scribbles, are this conch. Every once in a while, I hear something speaking through it. And he grabs the papers, he grabs the conch, and he sets it down. And you guys see the writings in common, but it's all gibberish. I don't know what they're saying. I speak 6 different languages and I don't know what they're saying.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, Gnomish, Infernal, and Draconic.
No spells that can help with this.
Is it possible they're speaking in Sylvan?
I suppose most Sylvan has derivatives.
Derivatives. Derogatory is like it's like
Elvish is how English is to Old English.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities where if he was trying to transcribe it, he would be able to get probably the gist of it.
Elvish is a derivative.
Yeah.
So this was kind of a fun thing to throw at the players. So basically, Cedric has this long. He has a handful of parchment, a bunch of papers that, like I said, is just written with gibberish. So he's found a language that he doesn't speak. He's not familiar with it. It's not common to him, and he's doing his best to write it out, thinking that that might help him understand it, or at the very minimum, when he can't figure out how to understand it, it's recorded, so he doesn't have to wait for the conch to go live again. So, for whenever they do find out what language it might be, the way that they'll have to figure it out is, first, it will have to be read aloud in common. And then whoever speaks that language that it's written in will have to hear it. Because even though whoever's speaking in common is just going to say gibberish, those will be actual words in that language. And just like how I could listen to someone from China or Japan, where they use symbols as their letters. I think the term is like kanji or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I actually don't. I really don't know. And so it's pretty much the equivalent of their spoken language being written in English, and then going back and trying to figure out what they're saying. So it's going to be a fun challenge for them to figure it out. I hope that they do come back to figure it out. It'll be very exciting.
The only things that I can get are names.
What are some of the names you've heard?
Katoon, Zarka, Karanda, Quint, Maraca, Nover, a few other names that don't quite mean as much.
Have you seen, or have you heard any names? Have you heard Marnie or Knox at all?
I've heard of Knox.
What were the names of the names he's been hearing that you just listed up? I got Katoon.
Katoon, Zarka, Karanda, Quint, Maraca, Nover. And there's more names, but those are the only ones that he's listed, or that he said out loud. Sorry, what was your question?
Oh, I was just asking. I asked if you had heard the names Marnie or Knox.
I have heard of Knox. And hold on. He steps back into the other room, comes back with a book, and he starts flipping through it. It's interesting. Marnie is a nickname for Marcus Metallan. Knox is a gnome colleague. The two of them built things together.
A gnome?
Yes.
Did we ever get a name for that gnome that lives in the castle that Metallan now used to?
I think we ignored that.
We ignored it? We didn't get a name, did we?
No. We just got there was a weird gnome living in that keep over here. Oh boy.
Are you guys okay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Oh, just realized.
Just vampires.
We've seen everything besides a ghost just about at this point.
Yeah.
That can be arranged. No.
Just, near Kusha, an old castle, right?
Yeah, that's the old Metallan castle.
Right.
How's it going, chat? How are you guys today?
About a gnome who lives in the castle. Just a crazy gnome who left without ever investigating. I bet that's the gnome.
You think that could be Knox? You think he'd still be alive?
Gnomes live wild, don't they?
I mean, certainly, but with half of the Metallan family slaughtered 100 years ago,
Maybe a descendant.
why would he stay in his friend's home?
Maybe he goes by a different name now. It's been so long, people just think it's a gnome. Was Knox rich at all? I mean, he was friends with the Emperor, I'm assuming he was.
I haven't met a gnome that didn't have full pockets.
And speaking candidly here, we've all seen vampires.
I have now.
So there's nothing saying that Knox is still a standard gnome.
That's true. He could be a vampire gnome.
As you guys are kind of discussing this amongst yourselves, when you guys walked into the room and you kind of surveyed your area, you saw that every candle and every torch inside were all lit except for one, and they all had the normal amount of candle light. One torch behind Cedric was not lit. And as you guys are kind of discussing amongst yourselves, it's like, I've seen a gnome, or I've seen a vampire now. Wife, what? There's not berries over here. Jesus Christ, Brandon. Our carbon monoxide detector battery went out last night, and it was beeping. She was going to Walmart, so I was just like, just go pick up a new from Jerry's. But the one torch that wasn't lit, it ignites and it turns to a very deep red, and it's bright enough that he sees it behind him. Turned around.
Going to pull my bow. That's just not knock an arrow yet. Just instinct. Just something changed that none of us were expecting. So I got my bow out.
Sure. Don't worry, you won't be needing that. But as he says that, you hear the other human who was in the kitchen. You hear him yelling faintly, because you guys are pretty far now. Faintly, Unless you want your dinner burned, I need help.
The fire torch.
And
Fire alarm.
he just kind of like small look of like, God damn it. All right, gentlemen, I could use your help if you have nowhere else to be.
Not at the moment. No.
And he kind of walks back over to the entry of the hidden room and gestures to get the fuck out.
Question, does Revelor still have the water back
I was
there?
literally about to say, I'm starting to pump up my.
As I walk out.
He kind of looks a little confused, like, what is that thing? But as you all get out, he closes the door behind you and
Can
sets
I
the
take
book
note
right.
of what book?
Sure. It's just like a dark brown leatherback. It looks a lot more worn than the rest of them there, just out of pure use. And then the few books next to it are obvious. They're not obviously, but they just appear to be pretty fake. On touch, they're just wooden.
You actually take the time to.
Yeah, to investigate it. But since you've seen it, you know what you're looking for. So the next time you touch it, you know what you're touching.
Right.
So he goes and he looks over to Revlor. You're gonna see something you don't like.
I've seen a lot of things I don't like. But fair enough. Thanks for the warning.
Escorts you all out of his office and leads you to the room that was on the same side of the hallway as the kitchen. He unlocks the door, opens it. You guys can head inside. You do see that the wheelbarrow is empty back in the shaft. And as you guys take a step into the new room, the room is relatively empty, minus a few things. There's a table that has a platter of laid out bread that is already pre-cut. There is some dried meats. It appears to be, some sort of red meat, maybe even some fish. There is a barrel with ladles, a handful of ladles hanging into them. On a shelf above it, just barely above it, you see one of these cloudy green crystals with the diodes through it. His is got a kind of a blue glow to it. The gem itself is green, but his is kind of glowing blue. And as you all head inside, he closes the door behind you guys, goes over to the crystal, and he pushes the diodes together. And you watch as it starts to trickle some water, and it begins filling up the barrel. Next to the barrel, there's a bench that has a few stacks of freshly folded and clean clothing. Nothing very special, but just some robes, enough to cover yourself. And as after he pushes the diodes in together, you see the water. He's kind of setting everything up.
Really?
You see in the absence where there's nothing in the room, clear as day, there's a large white circle with glyphs in the center of it, and the center of it begins to glow, and you watch as the whole thing starts to shine. All the glyphs start to light up, and in a bright light, 5, 10, 15 humans appear out of thin air. Immediately, you see them. They're dressed in rags. You hear the heavy breathing. There's a child crying, and you hear chains just shuffling. As soon as they apparate into the area, a handful of them lock eyes with the plate of food and the barrel being filled with water, and they just rush over and start shoveling their faces. You watch as Cedric pulls two leather gloves out of his robe and puts them on, and each glove has a like a yellow golden gem on them.
What's
And he
wrong,
pulls
Sheriff?
out a lockpick set and begins at the first person who comes up to him and starts unlocking collars
Oh
and
no.
handcuffs and chains around their ankles.
I mean, you've only got 2 hours left.
Most of them, yeah. You notice that the few that didn't rush up to Cedric,
I'm sure in Texas they probably do.
rush to the food, have a look of terror. And they're staring at Reveler. Not sure if it's a fear of just what they've gone through, if they're still in shock, or what it could really mean. But he gestures to another bag or two of lockpicks. If either of you guys are good at this, feel free to try. He unhooks a collar and he throws it into a wheelbarrow that's off on the side and takes the next 15 minutes unchaining people. Everyone's
Give it a
starting.
shot.
Sure.
What do you want me to roll for it?
You don't have to roll for it. You can just say that you're helping them.
Okay.
One way or another, they were getting out of the chains.
I just
Yeah.
rolled for perception and did pretty well, so I'm gonna say like I think I'm better off if I stay far away from everybody. So
Color would help them.
I think I'd do more harm than good, honestly, if I got near anybody at this point.
Connor isn't good at lock picks, but he'll help. Shove food.
Really wish we had those better microphones. Really difficult to hear these guys.
Just that kind of be a supporting kind of thing that's usual.
After he gets to the last person, he's already got the collar off. He's working on the hands. As he's working on it, everyone, welcome. You're in Altanova. You're safe. In the next room, Haley is preparing food. Sorry, William is preparing food. William is preparing food, and Haley is preparing your beds. And he undoes the last chain. He opens the door, and you see the human that was cooking. Just kind of, this way, folks. And everyone funnels out. A few other people that weren't originally staring at you as they walk past you, they're just very uneasy. And they head into the kitchen for a fresh meal. Over the last 2 months, since the king of Adroxia has fallen, and the organization began killing and enslaving people, some people of the Dubin Crane Temple have escorted those they can to Dubin Crane to teleport him here. It's dangerous, but we have to protect those that we can.
Yeah.
Cedric takes the wheelbarrow full of chains and collars, walks out of the room, and heads towards that shaft. Opens it, pulls your wheelbarrow out, and puts his in there and steps in. Connor, I have something for you, if you'd all like to follow me down.
We'll walk in.
Everyone else? Yeah. Sure. He grabs the rope from inside of the shaft this time, and he pulls it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after a minute, you start to lower. And after a minute, the human's vision fades, and those of you with dark vision, you guys can still see it's a dark area. It's like a dark gray, but you can still see everyone right there in front of you. He does a little twist with his hands, and one of the rings that he was wearing lights up and gives light to the area. The lower you guys get, you're remembering that you guys just came from underground and how hot it was, and you're feeling it. It's getting warm again. As you guys get down there, and it finally lands, he opens the door and pulls the wheelbarrow out into a large cavern with stone laid out in a circle, and in the center there's a stream of lava coming straight down, and it's being funneled into a forge, and you can see there's some weapon handles inside of the forge, and moving around is a very large black mass. If it wasn't for your dark vision, for those of you, if it wasn't for the dark vision, you would think that this was just like a void that was just moving around. And Cedric speaks up. Good evening, Doran. I've brought some trusted friends, and Connor amongst them. The mass turns to you guys, and you see it's got huge silver gauntlets. His boots, very similar design. A clean white loincloth covering his lower half. Not wearing a shirt, but with golden paint across his torso. All coming down to one point, and it's the high eye of the helm. And what you see is a very dark, very black half giant. And as he turned around, at first you care less about what the guy looks like and the fact that he's wielding a hammer the size of your torso. And he speaks up in a very deep, booming voice. Welcome, Connor. I heard you were coming for quite some time.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have been told about me arriving. Who are you?
My name is Doran Morgrim.
Doran Morgrim. Right.
I am a smith.
Seemed like a good one.
I think so. I was sent a design from Kardash? And I built it better. Kardash was the hairless dwarf that built the crow's beak.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
And he sets his hammer down, and it looks very like graceful as he sets it down. You guys feel a small rumble as he sets it down. Just walks over to a weapons rack, and he pulls to him a frickin' toothpick, but he hands you a new crow's beak. This one is feels weighted the same, very beautifully made, with your class and your experience. You quickly get that this is silvered. The same, much more intricately made, has the eye of the helm in the center of the hammer. The socket, however, is empty.
My crow's has like a ruby or something in it, right?
Yep.
Can I take that out and move it?
You couldn't, but it could be done. As he hands it, yeah. As he
side by side.
As you're holding him side by side, the crow's beak is great. It's very, I mean, it was made well enough to work.
Mm-hmm.
The silvered one, the most beautiful craftsmanship you have ever seen. I don't know how you fight. So, no gem.
Raise up the crow's beak if it's a gem. Maybe you can move this one over?
And Cedric speaks up. You can also speak with one of the vendors here in town and find a different one if you'd like. If you're partial to it, you can swap it over by all means. Doran can, of course.
I'm going to look and see what exactly
yours.
Is it the reaction?
Yep. As a reaction, you can do non-magical cunning dodge when two-handed.
Gotcha. Right, that's better. Okay.
There's a salesman in town who deals with magical gems, if you will. It's where I got my leather gloves. Makes me unrealistically great at lockpicking. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, I guess I can go shopping for them. Always good to look at your options.
Definitely.
What's his name?
Yeah, what's the gem merchant's name?
We'll get back to you. No, I'm kidding. I've got a list of names right here.
Spaghetti.
I'm going to pull out my bow and also point to the gem and say, I also could be using a different gem potentially.
Looks like it's the same crafter. You would be looking for Avet, the gem dealer.
The vet.
Avet. Avet. A-V-E-T. That's one name. Avet.
Gotcha.
Would he also be able to teach me how to properly remove the gems and replace them?
I don't know. I know that it takes quite the skilled hand. You'd have to ask him. I imagine that's probably where he gets a lot of his money, other than selling enchanted stones. Doran kind of grabs his hammer again. You go to pit. you make Dorn's name best again.
It's a pit.
Cedric's. There's a fighting arena around town.
Oh, you want me to fight with his... He wants me to fight with his stuff. Make his name big.
Yeah, I'll kind of explain the situation.
Well, if he just made me this thing.
Mhm.
I didn't even know he was doing it. I can pay him back by helping his reputation.
He would love it.
I have no problem with that.
Dorn has some history with people fighting with his weaponry and his armor. A lot of people have tried to copy his work, sell it for more, sell it for less, and unfortunately, well, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for him, is why he resides down here now. He was pushed out of his shop by another vendor that was making very similar weapons. Just they weren't strong, but they were just as pretty. And another vendor made things stronger, but nowhere near as elegant.
Dorn, I will help bring your name back.
He goes, yeah! Puts his hammer, like, forcefully hammer down on the ground. You guys feel the ground just shake a little bit. There's like a small indentation in the dirt and soot that's been in the ground.
Yeah.
Before that, just a quick question. Should I leave this crow's beak with you, get a gem, come back? Or can I put it in myself, or how does that work?
You come back, I'll put it on.
Alright. So I'll just take the new silver crow's beak and...
Alright.
Wonder what kind of gems there are, because I didn't even think about other types of gems.
Warren, can you teach me how to move gems?
Can try. Very delicate.
I'm gonna, from my bag, I'm gonna pull out my jeweler's kit and say, I have the tools. I just need the education.
Are you proficient with the jeweler's kit?
What?
Are you proficient with the jeweler's kit? Just curious.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
It was my one that I took.
Oh, okay.
And for backstory, something I picked up because father being a tradesman, you kind of pick up
Yeah.
something, and I just chose jewels.
Gotcha.
I also do have another question. Couple sessions ago, I found a black pearl. Can black pearls be enchanted? Or is it just the gold value that it holds?
It could probably be enchanted, but pearls are typically just used for income.
Okay.
Which I will get into. The people you're around don't know about it. Don't know.
You already gave me the value of it, so yeah. I wasn't sure if I could use, if it could be potentially slotted, but.
Right. Yeah, it's a combination of I'll have to think about it and maybe.
Okay.
Because the gems that are used, there's specific gems that can be infused. Then there's also different gems.
Gonna go ahead and
that
skip ahead a little bit, run out of time.
Can be starts pulling stuff barehanded, starts pulling the earth. But he at this point, Doran, picks his hammer back up after shaking the earth, and because I go back to work, starts pulling stuff barehanded, starts pulling stuff. He's got his gauntlets on, but it only covers the backhand. Just barehanded, starts pulling stuff out of the forge, and Cedric goes, I'll take you guys back up.
Good.
Doran, will you pull us back up, please? Okay. Grabs ropes. Starts lifting you guys back up. A couple minutes later, back into the hallway underneath the temple.
Well, all of it back here, and then I know it didn't work out last time we made bets, but you guys wanna do that again?
You're talking about Crucia? Or the Stonetail Ranch?
Yeah, pretty much. But you know.
Oh, but for the pit.
Yeah, for betting on me.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
Paladin's got a gambling problem.
for a horse to die that I'm in.
You hope they don't die like that.
Well, I'll make sure scouts are ready for snipers.
And your cat might be able to help a little bit too, right?
I meant to ask you, has your cat still been despawned this whole time?
I mean, like, typically, if we're not in, like, an area that's very dangerous, I just have her perched on my shoulder.
Okay.
Unless there's, like, a particular reason for me to be like, oh, I need to be undercover right now, or it's dangerous right now.
Okay. So, since you've been back above, okay.
Yeah.
When you initially brought her back out,
Mm-hmm.
there's a black smoke kind of radiating off of her.
Oh. I probably would have put that away before we went in the church today.
No one else?
No one else can see it?
Well,
sorry.
because I forgot to ask you at the beginning, nobody else seemed to have reacted to it.
Okay. That's good. Alright.
And after you brought her out, you hear the voice. We will do great things together.
Together. We will do things.
Cedric asks you, do you guys need a place to stay?
We have two friends that were looking for an inn. And
There's a few inns. Do you know which one?
Within 120 feet by any chance. Probably. Yeah.
I don't actually know.
Jeez.
So they're going to go look for one of them. So I guess we're gonna hit a few places and ask around.
To be fair, I did walk toward the lower district.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Low district area, but don't really know.
And like that's the last place we saw enemies.
Well, Cedric was like, well, if they seemed that they were going to the nice part of town, you could try. You can try the Wild Rock Inn or the Golden Deer. But if it looked like they were heading towards the bazaar, you could try the Iron Tulip.
All right.
Thank you.
Dandy likes his fancy stuff. So let's try the fancy places.
Okay. When you leave the temple, as you guys head back upstairs and begin.
Oh, I'll quickly say, where is Avast?
He's in the bazaar.
Bazaar, okay.
Yeah, he has one of the actual built shops.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then we'll go.
A bet.
Avast.
Yeah. Avet, whatever.
What did they say?
I don't know. They're both right.
Did I
They're
say-
made up fictional names. I say quinoa, the next time it's quina. Next time, instead of a vet, it might be a veterinarian.
Right, that's what I was like, oh, I guess we're gonna find an animal doctor and just
Right.
gems to get gems from. Okay.
Ovet sounds better.
It's like a magical griffin that passes kidney stones, and those are magical gems. It's like, okay, that,
Well,
don't tell me how they're made.
it's like
man.
critical role. You know, Kraken poop is magical.
Yeah.
You know, the lodestones.
It's magical. Man.
Okay, so as you guys head out,
Also, it's 4 o'clock, by the way.
yeah, I'm finishing up. As you guys head back up to the temple, There's no one else in the stands. This top side of the temple is empty. Haley, the older woman, walked back upstairs with you guys to lock you guys out. Be safe. Hope to see you again soon. Don't forget your wheelbarrow. Yep.
I will first return it
Yeah.
and then go look at taverns.
Yeah.
Because there's no way Dandy and Ohtar got missed by people.
Yeah.
If they were there, they would remember them.
Do you know which direction they went? Maybe I can help pinpoint.
From flat top, I remember they're walking down this specific street. Lord District. That's
Okay.
where they're going.
They probably headed to the Iron Tulip.
And we can check that.
All right.
Let me know when they
Why
go.
does a temple lock its door?
It's a big city, bud.
That's a
I
good
know.
question, actually. I wanted to ask that, but
What?
I forgot. Kriron had a question.
What was it?
Why does the temple lock its door?
If you haven't noticed, the city doesn't really sleep. And for this whole temple, there's only 3 of us. We do sleep. You also gather that because there's only 3 of them, it's probably why Cedric hasn't gotten around to get to Kusha. But okay, so you guys go and return the wheelbarrow, and then go and look for a tavern.
Yeah. And go to the Iron whatever.
Tulip.
Iron
Tulip.
For some reason I was like piling. It's like that is not it at all. Why?
I was thinking, flowers, and I was like, oh, which one?
Where at this point you find Ohtar and Dandy drinking. Dandy
Hammered.
oddly quiet.
Hammered. I am hammered at this point.
Walk up and put a hand on both their shoulders and say, you know, I was actually expecting like a bar fight or something.
Oh, I guess I should have let you know when they were in range.
When they got within 100.
I don't know if you would know though.
I just have to point and know the creature I am talking to. I know Connor.
Okay.
So as he's drunk, sitting there for like an hour,
Oh,
waiting, he's
the
just, he's
no, I'm
pointing.
just thumb because I have to point with the finger. A thumb toward the door,
Yep.
just shooting out up to the 120 feet until Connor's within range.
Yep.
This is the 75th message. Connor, get over to the Iron Tulip. It is not a flower. It is an inn. You bastard. You can reply to this message.
Without replying, I'll just look to Krioran and Revel and say, Danny just contacted me with the 75th message.
Method.
He's in the Iron Tulip, and he is out of his mind, world. We should go.
30 feet.
It's been a day. We should.
After him 30 feet of walking, no reply.
So he's about.
This is the 76th message.
He's like almost. He's about to walk into the bar.
I need your holy presence. Hurry. I have money.
You'll hear in your head,
You can reply to this.
you'll hear,
Shut up, Ohtar.
what kind of money? As a hand gets on your shoulder.
Ohtar, from your perspective, you just see Dandy turn around to nothing and go, Connor! Just fall over to the floor. And at this point, I'm probably out. There is a tower of, I'd say, at this point, 10 drinks of ale I just stacked up,
All right.
so I'm out.
So, you guys think he's okay?
Well, the place hasn't burned down yet, so it can't be that bad.
Can't be that bad. Ohtar, how is he?
By the time you guys arrive, if Ohtar didn't pick me up, I'm on the floor next to the bar, as Ohtar is still fine, because I am half his weight in constitution.
Ohtar's been drinking his fair share too, though.
Yeah. And he's been given a lot of free drinks.
But I'm out before
Right.
you,
Yeah.
so I don't have just as much constitution as you, big guy.
Awesome. This is where we're going to end today's session. But before I end the recording,
So where I stopped, what I go on to say is to help myself get a better idea of where where the party wants to go, what they want to go do the following day, so that it helps cut down the amount of time for my preparation, knowing what's on their agenda. So that is the ending of episode 2. Yay, we made it. Fun stuff. So in this episode, altogether, Creorn, Revlor, and Connor went to the Temple of the Helm. They met up with Cedric, found some trusted allies. They met Dorim Morgrim, a half-giant blacksmith who gave Connor a +1 silvered crow's beak. And he has to now go and find a new crystal to put inside of it that could have some sort of magical addition to his weapon, which is very exciting. Revlor has been told that Cedric knows more about his family than he was allowed to speak, and welcomes him to come back and talk to him. And Creorn shows interest in learning how to change the magical gems out on some of these weapons. While Dandy and Ohtar also have things that they want to go shopping for. They don't really know what the plan is since they weren't with the party for the rest of this day. But they definitely got nice and drunk. So, you'll excuse me. I will have part 1 and part 2 of the review of episode 2 posted here probably in the next day or two. I don't want to post it too soon since I'm still waiting on the edited version of episode 2 to post without my interruptions. So for any of you people that are get super excited, or you don't have to sit through me working on my arts and crafts and talking with chat. So I'd like to have the unedited version, or sorry, not the unedited. I'd have the uninterrupted version posted, and then I'll get my reviews out. But that means you guys here on Twitch are a couple days ahead of what's happening on YouTube. So if you missed any part of this episode or the last one, or you just want to hang out with us some more, feel free to come over to my YouTube, D-Machine DMs, where us and all of our friends go play Dungeons and Dragons and just have a great time. A lot more content to follow, so make sure to hit that follow button, give us a like, and we will see you around the table. Have a good evening.